Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Subnautica, Down to Sleep. We're gonna go over to Lele Island. We use the prawn suit.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Let's go ahead and turn that down just a little. All right.
Captain, all systems online.
All right. Let's dim the lights here. This will be a nice, quiet play session.
Engine powering up.
Hope you all are having a wonderful evening. If you're watching this, I would assume it's nighttime. If not, you know, just relax, enjoy yourself. We're gonna go find Lele Island, and then it should quiet down. Let's see, it's not this way. Alright, let's see here. Beacon. Lele Island. Okay. Got it. There will be some noise while we depart for Lele Island. Ignore the turbulence, rather the fish slamming into the hull of the submarine. Not to worry. Lele Island is roughly 600 meters out. Enjoy the beautiful sunset as we go into the evening. It is now nighttime. We are headed south by southwest right now. Checking for any foreign objects that we might run into. All is clear. Alright. We have arrived at Lele Island. You can see the bioluminescence already.
Engine powering down.
Alright. We've parked the submarine. Now we're going to head on down. Beautiful. Love the sound of the water. Who doesn't love the sound of the ocean? Look at that. Let's go ahead and get rid of all the indicators here, beacons. There we go. Subnautica ambiance. There's a peeper. Looks like it washed up on the shore here. I would put it back in the water. My inventory's full. Let's drink some water. Okay. And we'll go ahead and pick that up. And we can... Goodbye. Apparently that was already here at some point. Look at the beautiful moons of this planet. This one's very close. And this one's much further. The rotation is much slower too. I wonder if I could fabricate a chair to sit in. That would be... Oh, that would be so cool. I don't know if that's possible though. Give me a beach chair that I can spawn. Alright. Let's do a little walk around. Which way should we go? Let's go up this way. I bet this game would be pretty fun in VR. I think that'd be kind of relaxing. So beautiful. Peace and quiet. I just love the way the moon rotates. Incredible. Now, in this playthrough we will be seeing daytime, and that's fine, you know? Just because yeah, see, right on cue. The night and day cycle of this planet. I'm not sure what the name of the planet is, but it is rather short, so you have your Jaffa cup here. Kind of a cool looking plant. And I hope you all are extremely comfortable. Do whatever you want. Worry free. Stop all the worry. Stop the anger. Whatever it is, just relax. Enjoy a snack. Get cozy in your blanket. Whatever you're doing, just enjoy the ambiance of Subnautica's island I have named Lele Island. Kind of like a Hawaiian ring to it. Honolulu, you know? Speaking of Hawaii, Hawaii is definitely known for its little cliff diving. Beautiful. Well done on the water. Looks very pretty. Let's see if we can find a way up here. I cannot remember how we'd get up. It's definitely something I really enjoying is walking up mountains, especially if you're heading upwards. It feels like you're really working towards something. You know, not only are you getting exercise and um, you know, kind of clearing your mind, you're also working towards like a little goal. Um, in my hometown, we have a really beautiful waterfall. It's actually in Virginia, and you can. Uh, it's a pretty decent hike. Um, it's not the easiest hike, but it will challenge you. And you know, there's lots of friendly people like to walk their dogs, and I'll never forget little mini story here. When I was a kid, I bought the first, my first iPhone. It was the first one I'd ever purchased. I think it was the 4S. I can't really remember. And alright, it's getting darker here on the island. And I started to get into like nature photography, which I find is very peaceful as well, you know, just looking at the little things in nature. And there was this little area. It was really almost like a miniature little corner of a creek going down from the waterfall. Very quiet, removed from everyone. No one really knew I was there. Kind of felt hidden away. Almost like I myself was a miniature person. I apologize for that. Resuming the story. My computer had to pause the video for me. It was trying to start up another game from earlier. Back to the story. So, yeah, when I had my iPhone, I was trying to record underwater. It was like a newer feature, I believe, that they had for the iPhones. And there was just like these little plants, baby plants. It just, I somehow made the world that I was videoing, and I had like what is it called? It's a type of lens. It makes things look, makes small things appear a lot bigger than they are. It's called a micro lens. Micro lens? Macro. No? I cannot remember the name of it. It's not a fisheye. And so there were these little plants down there, and you had the water just trickling, and it was a bit of a warm day, and we had gone on a hike, so we were a little sweaty. And anyways, I was away from the group, and I was cooling off in the water, getting this little video. It was just so beautiful, so relaxing. And oh, what's that noise? Sounds like some rocks tumbling. Anyways, and I always thought how iPhone, especially at the time, I haven't owned one since, and I'll tell you why. At the time, they really had the best cameras, and I'm not sure what happened, but at some point I put my iPhone down, and we went home. Well, we went home, and I thought I had my iPhone, and turns out I did not, and I never saw it again. Also never saw that video again. But it lives on in my memory, and you know, that's kind of a beautiful thing. It's it's a moment that you can enjoy. Um, oh wow, look at this beautiful view. Kind of cozy up here. Feel rather safe, to be honest. It's very. I wish I could freshen up this. I wonder if you can build up here. I'm fairly certain you can. I don't know if I have enough titanium. It looks like we would have enough to build a basic tubular compartment. But I will say, can we repair this? It does not. You know, that would be really cool if Subnautica. Oh, what is that? Oh, spotlight. That'd be really cool if Subnautica could figure out a way for us to repair this. I don't know if there's a mod for that somewhere, but I would enjoy that. Alright, let's go over to the other mountain. Why not? Gotta watch our step. Yeah, it's too bad I lost my phone. I really don't know what happened. I tried using the Find My iPhone app. Didn't have a lot of results. Maybe I lost it in the water. To be fair, wherever that iPhone is, hopefully you're still working, and hopefully you still have that amazing video, and hopefully somebody got some enjoyment out of it. Who knows? I've taken a lot of other relaxing videos, but that one was particularly nice because I truly felt hidden away. Hidden away in a capacity that I haven't felt in a really long time. Mostly because everybody was really busy having a good time at the cascade, the waterfall. The picnic benches are beautiful there. Everyone sit down, have a PB&J sandwich or something, or you know, you pack a little lunch in a bag and you walk up the mountain and just relax. Oh, listen to that. You can hear the wilderness sounds. The little ferns. Really beautiful. Really beautiful. The pink caps. Speckled rattlers. My grandparents used to forage for mushrooms in the wilderness, and actually, funny enough, they look kind of like that. And they named this the grub basket. You know, the mushrooms, they looked really similar to this. The edible ones. And they would bring home so many and put them up on the kitchen counter. It was such a beautiful thing. I don't know what these are called, but I do know that it's very similar to a houseplant that I've seen in a lot of homes. Subnautica made something similar and put it on this island. It's a peaceful one, a bit nostalgic for many folks, considering the fact that it's in a lot of households. Same with these. I've seen them in front of properties before. Not really sure what they're called, but it's lovely that they included them. Oh, you can hear the whale sounds from up here. It's the loudest animal in this game. They don't have any on the island. There's no animals, so we won't be having any surprises. Alright, I think this is the entrance to the other mountain. I'm not sure. I will be uploading a dialogue-free walk around on this island, with a lot of like just idle moments where you really just only hear the sounds. But some people, some folks, oh, had to jump over that. Some folks, they prefer to fall asleep to the sound of someone talking, or personally, when I fall asleep, there's a couple of YouTubers I like to watch, depending on the day. Sometimes I just would rather listen to one or the other, or the sound of well, you can hear it, relaxing ocean waves, rain on a tin roof. What's another good sound? Maybe like a distant storm sound. I think that's very relaxing, especially in real life. If you're fortunate enough, especially if you're watching this video and you have a little rainstorm going, one where the thunder's just a nice, pleasant, quiet rumble, you've really got it made right now. Right now, where I'm at, it's late at night, very quiet. We have a trash pickup company. Oh, some potato here. We need food. All right, good to know. And they usually, because they have such a busy schedule, they usually show up around this hour. And probably 3 minutes or so before I started this video, they had picked up my trash, and they're on their way. I'm sure that's a relaxing job, driving around at night. No traffic, no one to bother you. Peace and quiet. But, I think I'd rather be cozy. Cozy right here. Cozy with a pillow. Snuggled up with a blanket. Maybe a stuffed animal. Maybe a bunch of stuffed animals. Maybe you just finished your favorite snack and you're relaxing. There we go. Sun's going down again. Where is the sunset? Here we go. Alright. We can go back to the bioluminescence. Why not? I'll have to watch my step extra careful this time. And no phones to lose in this game, so spare myself the heartbreak. Even the footsteps sounds are very relaxing in this game. I was watching a video earlier. It was an Italian grandfather. I guess that's called a nonno. And here, this is a quick way. And he was talking about, in life, his little secret is not to rush, to enjoy the little things, the view, whatever your view is. It doesn't have to be anything epic, or it doesn't have to be this big sunset or this big moon or this big moment. It can be looking out your window. It can be looking at something that makes you feel good inside. A picture, a memory, A stuffed animal you've had your whole life. A beloved pet. A beloved person. A good friend, an old friend, a new friend. There's got to be something that brings you comfort and joy. And, you know, when we do look at those little things, you can kind of reminisce in that moment until the next one. And it's kind of funny how that one memory of by the creek after that hike, right before I lost my phone, which was a tragedy, but that one moment in my age, which I'm not old, I'm not young. You'll have to guess my age in the comments section, and if you know it, don't no spoilers. It's funny how that moment lasted all these years. Of all the moments I've had, let's hope you create a moment like that tonight or today, or hopefully tonight if you're watching a sleep video. But if you are having trouble sleeping, and it happens, and it's early in the morning or just in the middle of the day, you want a nap, enjoy it. And if you're already dozing off, just tune me out, relax, don't worry about me. We're just gonna walk through the woods of the tropical forest of Subnautica. Ming plant. Beautiful. Love the bioluminescence. Really, really reminds me of Avatar. Not The Last Airbender, but the what is the first one? I think it's just called Avatar. And then the second one is The Way of the Water. And then the third one comes out pretty soon here. So if you're watching this video in 2025, it's going to come out on December 19th. If you're watching this video in the future, which today is, we're in October. I don't know the date. I've forgotten the date. But it is October of 2025. And if you've seen the new Avatar, I hope it's good. I hope it's really good. And I'm excited to see it. I would say no spoilers, but the comments won't. I'll have to read them after the movie comes out. Everyone just join this channel and comment about how incredible that movie was. Look at the clouds. If anyone paints or draws or anything, if you've ever done clouds before, I have noticed that what you have to focus on the most is the where the sun's hitting the cloud right there, kind of pointing at it, because the rest of it kind of falls into place. You can just add it. So for me, I was doing a sky, it was like an Arizona western scene, and I was just trying to get the clouds just right, and I had to do the darker areas first with a little bit of purple in it on the edge there, and then the sun was coming from the other direction, so you have to consider the gradients of colors depending on the particular angle of the sun and what what a sunset would look like in Arizona, you know, depending. This is a alien planet, right? Allegedly, I'm not sure what they call it. This is Lele Island for us. Um, I'm not sure. Someone's got to tell me in the comments what this island's called, according to the devs, the designers of the game. Anyway, back to what I was talking about, with the paintings and the drawings. So, when you are, and you probably, some folks already know this, but this is for the folks that might not, or might be getting into it, and it's just interesting to talk about, to be fair. Oh, we got some music. Lovely. The clouds, I would say, are probably the more difficult part, because it's very easy to make it look like not a cloud. In my humble opinion, right? So, it just depends, really. I'm really enjoying the peace and the ambiance right now. It's incredible. I only brought so much food and water for the game, because this game does eventually make you run out of food and water and stuff. It's a mode that we have enabled. Perhaps I'll do another video, or just do another game, really. Like perhaps Zelda. I'm trying to do ones that everybody else has not. Do games that no one has done yet. There we go. Proper grammar. So yeah. Back to what I was saying though, with clouds in particular, I feel like, yeah, you see, you can, I mean, even in this game right here, it has an edge. It's brighter. And then, depending on the time of day, it would be more gradual. It'd be interesting to see when the sun goes down in this game, how they did it. But you are actually in real time seeing the light hitting the cloud here move. It's diminishing right there. And the star on this planet, not sure what it's called. They might have a name for it. It's not the sun, right? Technically, we would call it the sun, but this is different planet, different location. And the clouds in this atmosphere are blocking it out currently, and it's about to reveal itself, so we will, because everyone's trying to doze off or maybe relax, we'll keep that away from our eyes. Enjoy some shade right here. Who loves walking up to like a tree where it's nice and shaded out of the sun, especially if you're tired and it's been beating down on you all day. Folks that work outside or play sports, and you can just trying to sit here. Oh, different game. This game does not, you can't sit. That's right. I've been playing a couple of other different ones. This one's really pretty. I like how the vines kind of hang down. It's beautiful. Alright. Moving on. He carved out a little path right here. I don't know if the devs did that on purpose. You can kind of see like a little bit of mud. I wonder how much attention they pay to certain areas on the map, or I found a lot of really cool stuff in this game. A couple of Easter eggs, as you may. One was I found a peeper fish. I put it in my aquarium. I have two now, actually. I was lucky enough to find it twice, so maybe it's not that rare of an Easter egg. If you're not unfamiliar with the term is Easter egg, it just means in a game, you find something that's hidden by the creators of the game, intended for you to sort of feel special when you find it. You know, it's just it's a cool little thing. So anywho, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Little details here and there, you know? Ooh, beautiful grass. We'll wait until the, we'll call it the sun. The sun goes down. Why not? We'll call it that. As long as we know what we're talking about, right? And oh, I hear the I hear the rocks. We'll stay away from that area just because the sound isn't as relaxing. Alright, let's go down this way. Now that's relaxing. Can almost feel the breeze from these leaves moving around. Almost. Wow. I should do a like a little cliff diving video. It might be kind of fun. I wish this game had multiplayer, and I tell you why. Because you can get on with your friends, and you could just get super creative and do silly things. Something that this game has that I think a lot of other games do not. Is this really unique geography. For example, Valheim. I love that game. But it doesn't have anything like this. You know, with Valheim, in the water, you can't even go that deep, and it's a different game. Different goals in that game. And this one's really nice because you just get that lovely landscape. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know how they captured the sound of the leaves crinkling, but it's a lovely sound. Beautiful. Really just enjoying the peace and quiet in this island. All right, let's go down by the water. Should we go around? This can't hurt. This is one of my favorite spots. Um, so this is not where we arrived. Okay. I was like, where's the Cyclops? But this is totally not where we arrived. Okay. That would have been like, hey, dude, where's my car? Yeah, if anyone has any pleasant stories they want to share, feel free in the comments. Um, any memories that might... Oh, there we go. The USS Jimmy J. Any memories that they want to share or connect with folks, like-minded folks? Hopefully everybody's like-minded. You know? Differing opinions happen, but we've all got to relax and get peace and quiet at some point, you know? Fall asleep. Everyone gets sleepy. Even me. Right? And that's why we're here, just to relax and have a little chat. It's tempting to do a British accent when I do these streams, and I'll tell you why. So I do a lot of like reading out loud. Mostly now for my partner. And I have read I've read for children before. I've read for family, believe it or not. Parents. And for some reason, the British accent, it just has a different cadence to it. And it's fun. It's fun to do. I wouldn't say it's any more or less relaxing. It's just different, you know? Look at that. Alright, let's see if we can catch the clouds. Before I forget. I think we can get one. That went pretty quickly. You could kind of see it. It wasn't as gradient as I thought it would be. And we'll always have the next go around. I did catch it. I hope you did too. We'll look again the next time. Oh. Stand by. I just had a notification on my computer. There we go. Alright. Because I tried to play another game earlier, I was going to do a sleep video with Rocket League. And I know that sounds silly because Rocket League, right? But Rocket League is can be extremely relaxing if you play it the right way. The car and the ball. So I actually have relaxed study sleep videos, which are like my first two videos playing Rocket League. And yeah. You can go check those out sometime if you've already seen them, you know. Those were when I was super new, so it's gonna be a bit different. The whole feel of it and everything. Alright. Oh, I was trying to get down there without making a bunch of noise. Who likes to camp? I love camping. I've been fortunate enough to camp in a lot of places in the United States. Growing up, did a lot of expeditions with the family, all crammed into one minivan. I'm sure a lot of folks have been there, and if you haven't, it's worth trying in your lifetime. And so we would go to national parks and such, and we would have like a little cooking setup, like a propane grill, which I actually I have that grill from our childhood in our possession now. My mother gave it to me kind of recently. But anyway, not to derail here. So yeah, we would have these little portable what are they called? Ceramic? Like cups and plates and stuff. And you would try not to burn yourself. You know, you put the baked beans or corn or whatever you're having at that particular evening. You know, you eat what you can when you're camping. There's not a whole lot of options as far as that goes, especially if you're back then. A lot of the fast food restaurants were pretty delicious, I will say, if memory serves me correctly. I remember in particular, and I hope I'm not making you hungry. You know, you're trying to rest and sleep. Possibly might want to move off the topic, but you know, I remember the fast food restaurants were particularly appetizing. They're very good. Wow, I like this shot right here. I wish I could paint or draw well enough to do this, but I really don't have it in me. And these designers did it digitally and did a wonderful job. Who knows, maybe there's someone that was like, hey, let me get a screenshot and do it for you. Alright, the sun's coming up. Let's watch the clouds. Okay, you see? The light's hitting right there. And it's still a little bit of shadow there, because the water droplets are too thick. Yep. I'm trying not to move the camera too much. I don't want to dizzy anyone. You see how fast the atmosphere rotates? This is a much, much, much smaller, mostly water planet. Beautiful. Sunrise. There we go. That's a great example. Oh wow, these are really good examples. Reminds you a little bit of Toy Story with Andy's wallpaper. Has clouds on it, I believe, if I can remember correctly. Really, really lovely childhood movies to grow up with. The original Disney movies. Incredible. Never got tired of them. Never will, really. Huh? Oh. Alright. There we go. Had to top off. Whenever that, well, let's see here. There actually is food on the island. Ooh. You know? You thinking what I'm thinking? Let's go get the food on the island. Let's see here. Where do we get up? I'm trying to remember. when I was pretty young, I used to play piano for my grandparents, and they would fall asleep basically every time. And after I was done playing, I'm like, alright, I have to not wake them up and still get up from the bench, which was a bit squeaky, and go upstairs, which was also a bit squeaky. So it was a little bit of a challenge. And whatever song I was improvising, because I really didn't know how to read music. It's not one of my strong suits. That's a lovely sound. I only knew how to like kind of just play by ear, put the keys together, see what sounded good. People started to make fun of how the piano was slightly out of tune, and I was like, really? It sounds in tune to me. But if you play the same piano, for, I don't know, 10 years straight or whatever, you get to the point where it's like, this is how the piano sounds. It's like almost custom tuned, or detuned rather, to your ear. So, alright, we have to go up. I wanted to find the food up there. No rush, but here we go. So yeah, so like I was saying, the piano and all of the, I had to make sure that when I got up for that night, that I didn't wake my grandparents. They were sleeping so peacefully, and I'm like, all right, here I go. The piano seat's gonna squeak, and the music has stopped playing. It's almost like, hold on, I don't wanna mess up here. Anyway, I think folks get the idea here. That's a complete thought, right? I've never been able to scan or see what those birds are flying. Oh, I take that back. There was one almost close enough to get it. I'd be curious if we could catch one. Not catch it, I apologize. Scan one. Alright, so this location doesn't have the food. I know there's some down here. Yes, there's some right there. So that's the one with the food, and it's connected. You can see the road. We do have time though to scan these if they fly close enough. Anywho, let's go back down. Drink a little bit of water. Sometimes it's nice to just sit still, look out. Oh, it's getting a little bit darker. Sorry, I'm trying not to move it too much so you don't get dizzy. Alright, we have to go this way. If anyone hiked recently or hiked somewhere really beautiful, you know, feel free to share in the comments. Let people know. Like, yeah, I went to such and such and I'd recommend checking it out. It's a very beautiful place. Something like that, you know? A lot of the places I have been recently, where have I been? It's been a minute, I will say. Maybe I'm overdue for a nice little trip out west. Or east, or wherever, right? North? South? Oh, I went to Florida recently, Panhandle area. Really beautiful there. Gulfside sand is very soft, as you know if you've been. Especially Sarasota and Panama City Beach. It's just really, really soft sand. It's almost like flour. I don't really know why the sand is naturally occurring like that, but it's very soft. It feels feels really good on your feet. Alright, got some potato and some marble melon. Gonna go ahead and eat that. That will prolong the video. We're doing really good time-wise. See, I would sit there, but I can't, and it's also, this place has been dirtied up just a little bit. I guess it's a good sign that I myself am getting a little bit tired. Oh, there's the USS Jimmy J down there. Still safe and sound. Hopefully you are all cozied up right now and you have a nice blanket and your pillow's fluffed just right. You found a nice little nook for yourself. Alright, going back down. We are good on food. Don't have to eat any more for probably another... I mean, the food bar's pretty far along, so... Ooh. Steep. But pretty. Definitely pretty. I do hope my vocal volume is just right. I've done my best to adjust it. I'm still learning as I go on. Alright, we're down. Slid a little bit there. to the wilderness sounds. Ah, look at the clouds now. See, so the sun is behind the clouds. So, oh, hopefully that's not too bright. You get a little bit of, you can see at the top of my screen there, or your screen, you can see the perspective. It's changing. And clouds are really interesting as far as painting and drawing goes. And the reason for that, I think that the position of the sun, it's a very personal thing, you know? A cloud can be almost any shape and size. I mean, the formation is relatively random. Oh wow, that gives you food and water. You really don't ever have to leave this island, do you? Okay, fair. Like I was saying, clouds, if you're drawing or painting them, it's really just up to you how they look. It doesn't matter. You can draw it any formation you want. I usually go for something realistic. I'll reference a picture, or if I'm lucky and fast enough at drawing or painting, you know, I would like to do it with real clouds in person, but they're gonna move, right? So you have to be pretty quick. If you're out there capturing real clouds on a canvas, you know, tip of the hat to you. Here we go. A little bit of Subnautica music. Beautiful sunset. Look how beautiful the clouds are. Now that is what I was talking about. You could almost look at these clouds in this game and be like, oh, what's that shape? That looks like someone laying their head, you see it? On their hand, with their legs crossed. And now you can really see it. Look, you can almost see, like, he has a hat and a nose and a chin. I wonder if the developers were like, hey, we're gonna put shapes in the clouds, so if anybody decides that they're I don't want to say the word bored, right? Because it's just paying enough attention to see, hey, this is what's in the cloud. I'd be curious what other shapes we can find. Looks like it could be something. Tell me in the comments, like, if you see a cloud shape that I missed. Maybe I'll let them kind of rotate. We're about to get the planet across. And you can put the minute mark so people can reference it if you want, you know, just different things. Or if you're sleeping, relaxing, don't even worry about commenting. Entirely up to you. Let's wait for this planet to pass. I'm looking at the constellations. I don't see anything that looks like where we live, right? Oh, observable galaxy where we live on Earth. Hello? Right? We're still on Earth by the release of this video, right? You're not watching this in I don't know what year. If you are, hello, hello. From the past, from the past. Anyway. We're cloud watching in Subnautica. Remember that game? Who knows? Say hi, everyone, in the comments. That looks a little bit like the Little Dipper, you know, but it would make sense, right? Because there's another one, right? Stars can form in any sort of relatively visible patterns. You could, just like a cloud, you could be like, oh, there's agreed upon formations of stars, constellations, and you can sort of figure out like the different, sorry, my mic was moving, I'm getting too mobile here with my arms. You guys can't see, but I'm waving my hands about expressing yeah. See, that doesn't look familiar to Earth. Like I said, this is a different planet. It's a peaceful planet. Well, on this island particularly. The underwater parts are also peaceful. It's just, it's meant more to be like a game. Anyways, I'll tell you a funny story that happened to me kind of recently. I was digging in my backyard, and we were digging because we were planting a rose bush, and we were planting it in front of a little trellis next to our hammock, which is a very nice place to relax. And I put some drape there, almost like you would with like a wedding. And we have different colors of drape. The one we settled on was like a nice light pink, almost like the spots on this mushroom right here. And so we put the drape up, and we're digging this hole right here, okay? And all of a sudden we hear clunk. And we're like, no way. Are we about to find like a buried treasure in our backyard, you know? It's like every homeowner's kind of dream. It's like, or just anyone that digs a hole somewhere, like, are we gonna find some buried treasure, you know? And it was difficult to dig. It was a loud clunk. It was a piece of metal. That, I mean, it was metal that you could hear. Spoiler alert. So we dig. And around the sides of the metal, which I thought was like a really big lid, I got my gloves and I'm trying to pull it up, and you know, there's like little bugs here and there. Kind of like you see in The Lion King. The little grubs running around. Anyway, so I lift up on the metal, and to our disappointment, which it was still really cool at the moment, we're like, oh my goodness, is there a buried treasure here? It was just a piece of metal which we have repurposed. We're building an outdoor fireplace, stove type of thing. Look how lovely that looks. Right there. The grub basket. I don't know what kind of mushroom that is. It's edible, or it's safe to consume. I don't know what it's called. If you know what it's called, comment down below. I'm sure some of you folks that know a lot about mushrooms and forage for them, or who knows, maybe even grow your own. Let me know what kind of edible mushrooms. They look like that. Alright. We are going back up. If anyone is still awake, still. Hi. I'm glad you're here. What was I gonna say? I have no idea. I don't know what I was gonna say. Lost me thought. Anyway, ooh, let's go down here. Can we make it? Yep, we did it. A little nook. Cozy. I'm just gonna slide down. There we go. There are some YouTubers that do like sleep videos, and they do various things like singing bowls. And there's all sorts of different options. I will say there's something definitely nice about, especially if you grew up with siblings, or you know, you just you grew up with, I don't know, people that would stay up late and you can kind of hear them talking in the next room or whatever. Sometimes it's nice to just, someone's awake, they're having a good time, I'm just gonna get cozy and doze off. For me, it was always nice. I had a lot of siblings, so falling asleep to sound worked really well. I don't know if you guys remember, and if you're younger, this is what the 90s were like. You'd go to a bowling alley or a skating rink, but usually for us it was a bowling alley. And the pizza and all that stuff, sorry, here we go with the food again, was so amazing. And they would turn off the lights. I forget what they called it. The something jam, or oh man. Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. They turn off the lights, the carpet would glow, everything was glow in the dark, and they'd put music, and the lights would be flashing, and everybody would be having a good time. And here we are, my siblings and I, we're just sleeping. All the noise and all the, I mean, it doesn't get any more distracting than that, to be fair. And we're over here taking a snooze. There's something comforting about it, you know? It's like, hey, everyone's having a good time. Let's go to sleep. Why not? Relax. Find a little cozy spot on the chairs there. There's something nice about those chairs too. They were made of this plastic that stayed cool. I don't even know why. It's just, and you'd put your leg on it or your arm on it, and you'd absorb the cold. and then that spot would get warm and you'd move it again. And then like once you were like really sleepy, you just wanted to stay right there where you were. And it'd be one of those naps where you're just drooling. And you wake up and you're like, huh? Where am I? Oh yeah. Everyone's having fun, but I'm tired. And that's okay. Oh, we got away from the woods. Let's go back. I like the way they sound. I think it's very pleasant. And we're about to get the bioluminescence, so. I apologize if you can hear my mechanical keyboard. It's clicky, and I have not purchased a new one yet, as of today, to make it quieter. Especially in a studio setting, you want all of the sound to be very subtle. And I recently put a shelf on my wall, and it has changed a little bit of the dynamic of the sound in the room, so I'm gonna have to figure out something to help absorb some sound so it doesn't reflect back onto the back of the microphone. Which sound design is a whole nother thing, and you know, comment down below if you're into the sound design thing. I don't know, if you want, tell us something interesting about it. I'm not educated. I know I've been in studios before that don't have right angles to help the sound bounce around in a smooth direction. I think that's incredibly fascinating. From what I've heard, sound travels like water, in a way. Not exactly, right? But if you think of the way that water sprays, and moves, in some capacities it's similar. I'm trying to think. I'm listening to the soundtrack here. It's relaxing. It's motivating and relaxing at the same time. They really got that right. All right. It is tempting to just hop in. Maybe we can go back down by the water. Let's do that. Oh no. The marble melon went bad, but I will say, it doesn't give you as much food as the potato. At least I don't think. Let's see. We'll find out. I know there's some right here, or that's a different grow bed. I know there's one where there is food in it. I cannot remember where exactly. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my mic down. That way you can just enjoy the ambiance of Subnautica a little longer. Feel free, no pressure, you don't have to share the video, like the video, comment, subscribe. You can completely up to you. No obligation. To bring more people into this channel might help. You know, you never know if someone else is having trouble sleeping, and hey, I want something to fall asleep to. Maybe this will work, you know? So anyway, thank you. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of the ambiance. I'm gonna do just a little bit of ocean waves.